I'm in college and I keep changing my major over and over again because I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. And then I kind of just like gave up hope. It had been a while since I'd heard anything, so I was just like, maybe that it's not in the cards for me. So I started training in a backyard, and as soon as I started it, I fell in love with it.
Because I am done with this.
You need to make amends.
You need to apologize to Bailey and me.
Yep, absolutely. Preach.
You need to apologize. Welcome to Baker's Bantering. To my left, Jenna Nicole Baker and Mama Valerie.
Hi.
Hey. Also, we got Jack Milliken over there.
Milliken.
Funny. You do not have to correct me what I said. Okay?
Okay, I'm really sorry about that.
Are you two beefing?
I don't know. I don't know that we're beefing. I don't think he's in the best of moods, but I don't know that he's really like mad at me. Are you?
Were the puppies unkind today, Derek?
It's not the puppies or Jenna.
He did get 5 loads done at work today, he said.
Nice work.
Thank you.
He was working so hard that when he got to my car, he was out of breath.
Exhausted.
He's like, man, that laundry's really getting to you, huh, buddy?
It did. You know, we are having on right now, and Jenna, do you know our good friend Tony Khan?
I am aware of who Tony Khan is, yes. I didn't actually get to meet Tony Khan.
I did.
You and Mom and
That is
Dad
true.
met Tony
Mom
Khan.
and I met Tony Khan.
Tony Khan is the general manager, owner of AEW.
His father, Mr. Khan, don't know his first name, owns the Jacksonville Jaguars. Is that right?
Jacksonville sounds right to me.
Or Carolina Panthers.
I was going to say the Panthers. One of the two.
That area.
What do you have to say about Mr. Khan? Tony
Not
Khan.
California team.
Well, Tony Khan is a credible general manager of AEW.
Yeah.
He's quite the character.
He's quite a character. He's a pretty cool guy.
Super fun.
That too is super fun as well. It is good to meet him in 2021, I believe.
November 2021, yep.
Correct.
Yeah, I got it right. Anyway, I got 2 superstars I have to mention, and they are credible and talented, and this is a good time to mention their names. I have a paper in my pocket. I share.
He's really hijacking this. I had no
I
idea.
am not hijacking anything.
I didn't know about Tony Khan. I didn't know about the notes in the pocket, but I'm here
This
for
is
it.
his acceptance speech. I want to hear it.
Okay.
This is not the same as speech.
Okay, what's on the
Don't know why
paper?
you think that.
Okay.
We're just joshing with you, buddy.
We know that for sure.
Just Josh Baker and you.
Blah, blah, blah.
Can I read it, or are you going to read it to us? It's a short note.
These 2 superstars are very good in a ring. One of them is a mega champion, and I did call the matches on Rampage all the time. These 2 did fought before in AEW, so today's the day to say congratulations to both superstars.
Let's hit it. Let's go.
Tony Khan, if you're listening, here's the 2 superstars will be All Elite. Jenna, can you read the first one?
Oh, okay.
No.
L-E-L. Could you help me out?
E-L.
L. Hijo. Del.
Figaro.
Vigoro. Okay.
It will be All Elite.
Will you say the whole name for me?
E-L. Del. Figaro.
Interesting.
Will be All Elite superstar. Tony Khan, please sign that young man.
I think I could read the second one.
I already know the second one is.
Oh, so you wanted me to read your handwriting for the first one, but you could read your handwriting for the second one. First one was harder.
Hell, Deal, Figura will be all elite. Tony Khan, you may sign that young man. He's very good in the ring.
You heard it here first, Tony Khan.
Yeah.
And number 2?
And number 2, we got Mr. Black Taurus. Will be all elite. Tony Khan. These two gentlemen are very good. They did far before. So.
Where have you seen these two gentlemen?
Yeah, where'd you write these names down from?
Well, I wrote them down. One of them I did find on the internet, and the other one I did watch is match on Rampage all the time. Figaro and Torres did fall before
At AEW?
Yes,
And you want Tony to
AEW.
bring him back?
And I want Tony Khan to sign both of these superstars on AEW roster.
Bring them back.
They are good. They are amazing. They deserve a round of applause.
Okay.
Okay. Hashtag bring him back, Tony.
Wow.
Not sure to bring him back, but Tony Khan, these are the deserve heavy AEW contracts. Deal, Figura, and Black Taurus. Sign them both in AEW, and I will continue calling their matches in AEW.
Okay, great. Thank you for sharing. I wanted to know, did you see the video that I posted about your giving advice about your CPAP machine?
What about?
Well, we just got a lot of really nice comments on that video about how appreciative people were of you giving them advice and telling them not to be scared, and that it's okay to be scared, but it's going to be fine and you're going to get used to it. And we just got a lot of feedback that was really helpful for our followers that saw the video.
Wow.
Yeah, and I wanted to tell you,
That's
so
awesome.
I'm a little behind. So this happened like a week or two ago on the Bobby Bones show, but I do love the Bobby Bones show,
Baba Bones.
Baba Bones. So Bobby Bones actually did a sleep study recently.
Did he?
Yeah, he's following in your footsteps.
Wow.
He went into the place, the hospital type place, whatever it's called, and he got strapped up just like you did with all the wires and the things that they stick to you all over the place.
Yeah, they were the Mets.
Yeah,
It was a lot.
and then he went to sleep, and sure enough, they woke him up a couple hours later and they made him put a CPAP machine on to give it a try because he was stopping breathing in the middle of the night. And I just thought that you should know that there are lots of other people out there that are following in your footsteps and who have done it before, and you're helping other people be prepared to do it again.
Oh, that was weird.
It's all good.
Strange.
So what do you think about that, the CPAP?
Well, that CPAP is an incredible thing, and good for you, Bobby Bones.
Bobby Bone.
Bobby Bones. Okay, so we do have a great interview coming up. Who did we talk to on today's episode, Derek?
Ruby Soho.
Miss Ruby Soho.
So excited.
She was lovely.
I love her.
Lovely.
Sorry I didn't get to talk to her.
She had lots of nice things to say to Derek.
Did she remember Derek?
She did remember Derek. I had to remind her a little bit of when it was and where we were and that sort of thing. And then she remembered, and she said, well, I won't give it away. Okay, I'll tell you anyways. She said that Derek gave the best hugs.
Yeah.
Which we all knew.
we all know that.
The hugger
Wow.
he is. But before we get to that, I have one more thing I want to talk about really quickly. A couple months ago, we did talk about this, but it was a little premature. But yesterday, Jason Kelce did announce his retirement from the NFL.
Oh.
It was quite moving. He
I saw that
was.
on TikTok.
Did you watch the videos of him talking about it?
Absolutely. Every single video I saw with Jason Kelce, and he's incredible. He's a great athlete. Shout out to Kelce. I'm really hoping that doing the next week in your career, we'll see. That's gonna be, but
He knows about the luchador masks.
Yeah, I saw him dancing in one of those on a bar top.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Who's going to call him first, Triple H or Tony Khan?
Ooh.
I think it's gonna be Triple H.
Yeah.
Ooh, Derek's got ideas. Well, I was just so impressed. He was so emotional. And to see a man of that caliber be, who knows if he was comfortable, but regardless, he was vulnerable. And to express himself in the way that he did, he talked about playing football growing up with Travis in the backyard and how they won multiple Super Bowls before they even left the backyard. And he talked about his relationship with Kylie and when he met her and how he knew like right away that she was going to be really important to him, and that he said something along the lines of like, it's no coincidence that I had my best years in the NFL with Kylie by my side, and we've gotten to the point where now we have 3 beautiful girls, and I am more fulfilled off the field than I am on the field. And both of their parents were there. Travis was very emotional. He had sunglasses on the whole time and was wiping tears out from under his sunglasses the whole time. But it was just very special. I saw one comment on there. I think DraftKings actually might have made the comment. And it was like, the most famous offensive lineman in the history of football, and which is probably valid. But yes, it was official. Philly Jared did text me yesterday when it came on, and I think he was a little bit emotional listening to it at work. And yeah, it was just, excuse you.
Sorry.
I was very impressed, and they are just a very impressive family, and the way that those men are capable of being vulnerable, I think sets a great example for other young men. And he had a great career, and I'm glad we got to talk about him this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's his mid-30s?
36, I
Yeah.
believe.
36.
I'm sure he's played football his whole life.
And for Philadelphia, for the Eagles, his whole
Yeah.
career.
Yeah.
13
But
years.
I mean, walking away after.
And he was
it
a
was-
walk-on at Cincinnati.
Yeah. I mean, it was hard when Katie quit playing softball after being a senior in high school, and it was hard for me as her mom.
Right.
So I get it. You get very attached to, a certain
The sport and all that comes with it.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, the team.
but good
Especially-
luck.
Especially me.
Yeah, you're very attached to a sport,
I have a feeling
entertainment sport.
I have a feeling we'll see him on a mic a lot, and not
Oh,
just
sure.
on our podcast.
Sure.
Especially me. I am not mad at Janet or myself, but somehow somebody shows me an awful turn.
All right, we're going to get to this a little later on. Derek is very upset. I'll just say it. He's very upset with Dakota Kai. But we're going to get to this a little later on in the weekly wrestling wrap-up, because right now it is time to hear from our good friend, the lovely Ruby Soho.
Woo-woo!
Ruby Soho. All right, welcome back to Baker's Factory. We got our special guest representing the Outcast, representing the White Squad. Give it up for Miss Ruby Soho and Wyatt.
Soho / Thank you for having me, Derek. I appreciate it.
Me too. It is good to have you here. First, how about let's turn up to Tona Storm. So, what do you think about Tona Storm now? Why is she in a timeless zone? Why is she in a zone with Mariah May and Luther and become all timeless?
Honestly, that's a great question, Derek. I have no idea what happened to Tony. She lost her marbles. No idea. Some people think that maybe this was just who she was the whole time. Some people think that maybe she just lost her title initially and, went bonkers. I was not happy with her at first when she first initially left the Outcasts. It's hard, though, not to be a fan. It's hard not to love everything that she's doing. I'm not a big fan of that Mariah May broad, but I do love Luther. Luther's the coolest. But I'm a big fan of everything she's doing. I think she is honestly a really, really great AEW Women's World Champion. And I think she does a wonderful job at representing AEW. Like I said, I miss her. I miss my old Tony. I miss the space buns and all that, but I am very, very happy for her. She seems to be happy sometimes for the most part, when she's relaxing at least and not throwing shoes at people.
I have a question. So I was not there the first time that you met Derek and Mom and Dad, but I did edit all of that content. And I remember you really stood out to me because you were just genuinely interested in getting to know Derek and Mom and Dad. And I just thought that was really special. And I was like, oh, this chick's really cool. And so I just wanted to know, like, what do you remember? Do you remember meeting Derek and Mom and Dad that first time? What was, your first impression of Derek and that sort of thing?
Was the first time when I had, shortly after I had first debuted for AEW? That was the first time. That's what
it was 2021, I believe, November. It was in St. Louis.
Yes.
Yeah, he was getting escorted around backstage by our good friend Colt Cabana.
Shout out to Colt. Love you,
Best.
brother.
Love him. Yes, of course I remember. The one thing I remember very, very well is, Derek, you give probably the best hugs of anybody I've ever met. You have top tier hugs. I've gotten hugs from a lot of cool people, but you give top tier hugs. Best hug I ever got.
He said shout out to myself for that.
I love it. I love it.
Derek.
Shout out to Derek for the great hugs. But honestly, I remember how excited you were to get to meet so many of the different people back there. And honestly, I wasn't sure if you'd even know who I was. I never assume that anybody knows who I am. But you absolutely did. And it just made my whole day. And your excitement to meet me, I was honestly very humbled. And you were just the sweetest. And again, like I said, best hug ever.
Well, he is a wrestling expert, so he generally, it's very impressive. He's when we're at these things, he'll see somebody walk by and just boom, blah, 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 boom. Yep. I know who that is. And he knows everybody. So I actually...
Jake Hager, he goes by Jack Schrager.
Right.
So that was pretty cool. My question for you, Ruby, how you feel about Jake Hager now? Jake Hager did come in to the Orange Cassidy. What's going on between Jake and Orange Cassidy right now?
Honestly, I don't know exactly what's going on. There's a lot of people that I think were aligned in certain places that are kind of really testing out waters other places. So I'm not 100% sure. I do know that I have always been a huge fan of Jake Hager. In and out of the ring. One of my favorite people in the entire world. He's a very sweet person out of the ring. In the ring, I've seen him hurt a lot of people, but I'm a big fan of him. And so whatever he chooses to do, I'll support him fully.
I read that you spend a lot of time outside of the wrestling ring on the farm. Is that true? Tell us about that.
I have about a 50-ish acre farm. I have 2 full-grown horses, a mini horse and a mini donkey, as well as 2 dogs and a naked cat. Yeah, and a naked cat. So we're all over the place. It's a real freak show at my house, if I'm being honest. So basically what most people think that I spend my time, just go ahead and think the opposite. And that's actually what I do. Because it is just so peaceful with everything that goes on backstage and all the traveling and the hustle and bustle. It's honestly the best thing in the world for me to be able to just be outside and be with my animals and relax and be somewhere quiet. So I'm very lucky that I get to do both.
Do you get to spend a decent amount of time there, or how much time are you on the road
Yeah,
versus
yeah.
at
We
home?
have a great schedule. We have a great schedule at the moment. So I'm able to spend a good amount of time, with my animals, especially now that it's warming up. During the winter, we get really brutal winters over here in the Midwest.
Oh, we know about those.
So yeah, it's been
Exactly.
rough. It's been a rough winter. And it doesn't want to seem to let go. But at least the last couple of days, especially, it's starting to warm up and all the snow is starting to melt. And so it'll be nice to be able to get back outside and spend a lot more time in the sun.
So I read a story that I would like you to share with Derek. When you first got the call that you were going to get a contract with the WWE, there was some barbecue sauce involved. And Derek is a big fan of barbecue sauce. So I felt
do
like
like
you
barbecue.
needed to tell him this story yourself.
Yes. When I first was informed that I was going to be working with WWE, I had waited for a long time for my phone call or whatever was going to happen, whether or not I had made it or not. And then I kind of just gave up hope. It had been a while since I'd heard anything, so I was just like, maybe that it's not in the cards for me, because I had been dieting really well before that and just trying to really cut. And so that day there was a place right across the street from where I bartended. I was at work. There was a place across the street from where I bartended, and it was this hot dog place, Eddie's Hot Dogs, delicious.
I bet it's good.
And there was a hot dog that had pulled pork and barbecue sauce on it. And it was probably the most unhealthy thing I've ever eaten in my entire life. And I sit down to go and eat this hot dog, and I get an email that says that WWE was interested in working with me. And I had just taken a bite out of this hot dog. So I ran up and down the bar with customers. I have customers and people are looking at me, and I have barbecue sauce all over my face because I didn't even have time to wipe it off. So I have barbecue sauce all over my face, and I'm running up and down saying I got hired, and nobody has any idea what I'm talking about. So yes, that is the barbecue sauce story.
Oh wow.
You know
Yeah.
that having barbecue sauce all over your face, don't
All
you,
over your
Derek?
face. But it means that you're enjoying your meal, so there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, I do eat meatballs with barbecue sauce on the bread. I know exactly how I feel.
So how do you get started in wrestling? Was that something you always wanted to do, or how did that come about?
No, my childhood best friend, she's still one of my best friends. Known her since I was 8. Her older brother started doing it independently, and her whole family was obsessed with it. So we used to go watch shows in Northern Indiana that were just very hole in the wall. 10 people showed up to these shows in bingo halls or whatever, and we used to go and watch them. And then, fast forward a couple years later, I'm in college and I keep changing my major over and over again because I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. So I went to, as that was happening, I was going to those shows again. And I was asked if I wanted to give it a shot. So I started training in a backyard. And as soon as I started it, I fell in love with it. I fell in love with everything that it was, the freedom to be whoever I wanted to be, the freedom to tell whatever story I wanted to tell. And then I dropped out of college and pursued this, unfortunately, to my parents' demise.
They got to be proud now.
Now they are, yes. They were just worried before, where I'm just I'm
Yeah.
going to drop out of college to go hurt myself in front of 10 people. And they weren't exactly happy about it, but they're very proud now, yes.
So when you train in the backyard, is there a wrestling ring in the backyard, or what does that look like?
There was a wrestling ring in the backyard. It was not a very stable wrestling ring, if I'm being honest with you. I don't think it was held together with very sturdy things. I think a lot of it was with a lot of rope, and not a lot of the metal beams. I don't think quite fit. None of the boards on the ring were fully were not warped. There was not a single board on the ring that wasn't bent in some way. So, yeah, it was not the most. It was a very painful experience, but it got me started. So I can't hate on it too much.
Was the training more painful, or is it more painful now?
That's a good question. It's hard to think because I feel I remember, because I was a waitress at the time. I remember training, and I remember trying to carry those heavy trays, and my neck is killing me, my back is killing me. So I remember it hurting a lot. In the middle of my career, I felt like I was untouchable. Like I would say, like, probably 5 or 6 years in, I nothing can hurt me. I'm feeling great, whatever. I'm now this is my 14th year in professional wrestling. So now I feel like everything hurts. Breathing hurts, getting out of bed hurts. Everything hurts. So I feel like it's been a little bit of a cycle. Like, it started off hurting, then I felt great, now it's back to hurting again.
How do you prepare your body on a regular basis to be kind of like throwing yourself around like that still?
I have a gym in my garage, so I work out as much as I can. But it's really hard. It's just consistency of being in the ring. I feel if I have matches like week to week, back to back, I feel a lot better than if I go into it having not wrestled in 3 or 4 weeks, because that callus on your body just builds up. And I think the only thing to really prepare yourself for being in the ring is just being in the ring consistently. So it's hard when I don't physically have a ring in my, like, at my house, which I would like to one day, but I don't. But it's definitely hard to. I try to keep myself in the best possible shape I can, all while trying to take care of a bunch of farm animals. But yeah, it's not easy.
When you have like a match coming up with a particular opponent, do you and that person like practice together in the ring often, or do you practice more on your own, or how does that kind of like leading up to that big moment in front of people, like how does that come about?
Yeah. It just really depends, honestly. There are certain people that I know very well, that I've worked with before and everything like that. So I think to some extent, you just kind of only have to, like, you just have to really worry about yourself, and go based off of, how they feel. I think with unfamiliar opponents, sometimes it takes a little bit more interaction and a little bit more conversation, just to make sure that, because you don't know how they feel until you're out there most of the time. So I think it really honestly all just depends.
Well, I'm glad you say all that. My question for you, this Sunday is AEW Revolution is coming up. We got Thomas Tony Storm goes 101 with Danny Belazzo for AEW Women's World Championship on the line. What you got in that match?
Who do I have? Like, who do I think is going to win?
Who's going to win?
I can never, ever, no, not even if I'm mad at her, Derek, not even if I'm so mad at her, not even if I wish she was back in the Outcast some days, I can never bet against Toni Storm. I can't do it. That will be my girl forever. So I 100%, I love and respect Deonna Purrazzo so much. But I can't bet against my girl, so I got to go with Toni Storm.
So we've been talking about you a lot with this whole Cool Hand Ange and
Angelo.
Cool Hand Angelo. Derek doesn't like when I say Cool Hand Ange, and I was at one point he had me saying Cool Hand Dan, and I was looking it up, and I'm like, Derek, this is wrong. The internet is telling me that it's Cool Hand Ange. And he's like, it's Cool Hand Dan. And he for whatever reason, he just doesn't like Ange. So whenever I say it, it's either I have to say it wrong and say Cool Hand Dan, or I have to say Cool Hand Angelo. Yeah, he either wants the full name or he wants it to be wrong. That's the only two options he gives me. But
I don't really
talking about you
either.
Yeah, and we've been talking about what's been going on with you guys in Saraya a lot on our podcast these past few months. So where are we at with that? How are you on good terms with Cool and Angelo? Are you on good terms with Saraya? Where do we stand?
So Saraya's not happy at the moment. Me and Angelo. Huh?
I said she have to get over it.
She's gonna, you know what? That's what I've said to her. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to be my friend, you got to be happy for me. And Angelo and I have been on a few dates. He was a gentleman the whole time. He was a wonderful gentleman. And I had a great time. So I think we're just kind of testing the waters and seeing, because like we had a lot of stuff in our way prior to this. So now it's just kind of time to see, what's there and what the chemistry is like. But Saraya's not happy about it because I'm not around as much. And but like Derek said, she's just gonna have to get over it.
I saw some skits on your Instagram with Sal and Brian from Impractical Jokers. So I got to know, like, one, how much fun was it to work with somebody like them? And two, what other kind of cool opportunities has your wrestling career presented to you like that?
They're the best dudes in the world. Like, I love them so much. They are such huge fans of wrestling, and I've known them since I worked in WWE, and they were always like, I think my first interaction with Sal was like, we like saw each other on like at the top of an escalator or something, and I was like, oh, and he was like, do you know who you are? I was like, do you know who you are? Like, there was such a mutual like fan at that moment. Like, and they were just like, ever since then, like, they just make my heart so happy whenever I see them. They're just, every time they come backstage, they're met with such overwhelming joy, because all they do is just make people happy in general. As a whole, that's what they do for a living, but they're just equally as amazing dudes. The skits have been a blast. As far as other opportunities that I have gotten to have, one thing that I loved that I've gotten to do since I started wrestling was I got to do carpool karaoke. That was one of the most fun experiences I ever had, even though I had to share a car with Max, which, no one ever wants to do. But I had to share a car with Max, but it was a really, really fun opportunity. I've gotten to do that.
Let me guess. Is that MJF?
Yes, Maxwell, Jacob.
What did you guys sing?
We sang a multitude of things. We definitely sang, of course, Ruby Soho, as you would. We sang Ain't That a Kick in the Head? And then I'm trying to remember what the third song was. It was Will's song, because I was also in the car with Will Hobbs. It was a DMX song, but I don't remember which one it was. But it was a blast. I had so much fun. And I got to beat up Max at the end of it, so it was great. Rough Riders Anthem. Yes, that's what it was.
Ruby, I got to know what's your thoughts about MJF. What is the deal with all this evil Max men came to AEW, and Roger Strong won't let this go? Max is the devil. What's your thoughts about MJF getting out?
It's intense. It's intense. That whole story is very intense. It is heartbreaking a little bit on Max's behalf. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that Adam was the person that was behind the mask the whole time, it did break my heart a little bit for Max, because Max is one of those people. I've known him for a very long time, and Max is a scumbag. Everyone knows it. Sometimes he's our scumbag. Sometimes he's just a scumbag. But Max doesn't open up very easily, or doesn't make friends very easily sometimes, because he is a scumbag. So it did make me very sad to see the one person that he made friends with turn out to be somebody that inevitably hurt him. So yeah, I gotta say that storyline hurt my heart a little bit. But I think whenever Max comes back, I think he'll shed a little light on how he's feeling, and I can only imagine he'll have a lot to say, because it's Max, and he always talks a lot.
I bet he does.
He does.
He does. You just say right there, MJF is a scumbag. It's our scumbag. How you feel with MJF with Adam Cole to winning the ROH Tag Team Championship last year at All In? What's your thoughts about that one?
When they won the ROH Tag Team Championships?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. I thought it was great. They have a great run. A lot of really amazing matches. Um, After that, like a lot of really really good wrestling came out of that, and I thought it was great at the time because I thought Adam was a nice dude, but he turned out to suck. But yeah, I definitely, yeah, I think that even though he is a mean guy, apparently, Adam Cole and Max are both very, very talented and very good at what they do. So you kind of can't take that away from them.
Also, Max did get got attacked by Bullet Bullet Gold. Bullet Club Gold. Jay thinks Max is the devil, and end up living there taking the title away from Max, and that pissed him off. So he pissed off MJF a little bit. How you feel about Bullet Club Gold attacking him?
Bullet Club Gold, they're very loud. They're very loud. All of them. The whole group. Even Jay is loud sometimes when he's around them. Also, they just talk about the fact that the Bang Bang Gang, or whatever they call themselves, I know that's what they call themselves, they spit. That bothers me. Not gonna lie. Austin and Colton Gunn spit so much on their entrance, and it just grosses me out every time they do it. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. Yeah, again, very loud gentlemen. But they're very good. I can't take that away from them. They're very good. They're very good. They're very cool, I guess, but they're just loud. I don't appreciate it at all. But, what do you do?
I want to know, with all the traveling you guys do, what is like the coolest or the best part about it, and then what's the hardest part about it?
With all the traveling that we do, the best part about it, one of my favorite parts about traveling, because I would love to be like, the different cities I get to see, but I just basically get to see the inside of airports and certain hotels. And the venue that we're at. Like, I don't get to really see or experience the city because we're just in and out. So I would love to say that, but honestly, I love when we go certain places and it's someone's hometown. That's my favorite thing that we get to do when we travel to certain places, and you get to see the reaction and the pride that comes with it being someone's hometown. Like whenever somebody comes out, because they feel so like that town feels so represented. Like whenever we go to Indiana, I always have a very very warm feeling in my heart because I have my people are there. You know what I mean? So like going to everybody's individual city and hearing them like go crazy for their hometown hero, it really is awesome. The worst part, airports, just as a whole, people in airports, airport security, planes. Again, people in airports. I'm going to say it twice because nothing makes me more angry than I just get another level of angry when I get into an airport and there's just people mouth wide open just looking around, not knowing how to be people anymore. It just makes me crazy.
Well, taking that, I don't have any last questions, but I do have three questions I do have to wrap it up for you.
Okay, let's wrap it up.
So, the next question is, we are getting Christian Cage goes 1-1 with Daniel Garcia for TNT Championship on the line. We are getting a match, Garcia or Christian?
Garcia, 100%. Garcia.
Ooh.
Nice.
I don't like
Eric
any.
just made friends with Daniel. He just made friends with him.
He's the best. I love him.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Daniel Garcia fan. Always have been. Always have been. He's absolutely amazing. I think he is a legend in the making. I think he's genuinely so good. I don't think I've ever seen him have a bad match. And I love him as a person. And I also don't appreciate any human being who refers to himself as dad or daddy to, other grown adults. So that's my biggest thing with Christian Cage, so he can sit down. I definitely got Garcia on that one.
Well, that's good. And the next question is, this question is actually a prediction. Maybe you and Angela will do it this weekend. Maybe Nick Wade need to find a different father, a different mother, and I was thinking you and Angela get Nick Wade.
You want them to adopt him?
You want me and Angelo to adopt Nick Wayne. That is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. And also not a terrible idea. I don't think Nick Wayne would appreciate it. Because I ain't letting him get away with some of the crap he's gotten away with. So yeah, I would think we'd be a little bit too strict of parents for Nick Wayne. But I don't entirely hate that idea. I don't know how his mom would feel about it. His mom, honestly though, I'm not even gonna lie to you, and excuse my French a little bit, but his mom looks like she could kick my ass. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm a little nervous about her, but if we got past her, I think we'd be good.
Do you think Nick's mom was joined with Julia Hart and Scott Blue? What's your thoughts about that one?
Do I think that? I think she'd look great with the whole outfit and the gothic getup thing. I think she'd look great. She's beautiful. Whether or not she would, I don't know. I don't think so. I think she has a little bit of an allegiance to Christian Cage, if I'm being honest with you.
The last one before we wrap up with you, we gotta talk about this one, Bailey. How you feel about Bailey right now? Before you answer that question, you and Sarah and Liv attacked Bailey in 2018 and mocked her, and especially on her. Tell me why you do that?
Derek, listen, some people are just like, in certain times in their life, they just feel like they're little fish in a big pond. So they got to make some waves. And that's what we did. And also, apparently, I was just getting ready to eventually do it to the entire AEW roster, but use spray paint instead of black lipstick. I adore Bailey. Bailey is just an amazing person, and how absolutely brilliant she is when it comes to professional wrestling, and the way she sees it is really honestly something I am so fortunate enough to have gotten to learn from, and to be able to call her my friend. I'm very, very fortunate of that. I'm not gonna lie, she's the best.
Wow, that is so sweet when you say that. Speaking of friends, Laura T, we already assaulted on SmackDown a couple of times. Io and Asuka and Kairi, the rest of Damage Control to attack Bailey. What's your thoughts about that?
You know, it makes me sad to see it. I thought it was a great group, but honestly, you know, I'm living proof that, you know, a lot of those groups and a lot of those factions don't last forever. So it happens, unfortunately.
Tonight is Friday Night SmackDown. We got the Bulky Warriors goes 1-1 with Bailey and Dakota Kai. I got to know what you got in a match and how you feel about Dakota Kai.
I actually, in a lifetime ago, before any of this, I used to team with Dakota Kai. She used to be a tag team partner in a company called Shimmer. So I'm a big fan, love her, adore her.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure who I would vote on for that, but I just know that, you know, I love Dakota Kai. So we'll go with her then for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ruby Soho.
Thank you, Derek. Thank you guys for having me.
Join Hoda Kotb for a brand new season of her podcast, Making Space.
I feel this season is more personal to me.
Uplifting conversations with television host Maria Menounos, The Office star and author Rainn Wilson, and more.
All of our guests provide something special, every single one. Come with me on this journey, and I promise you'll leave stronger than when you started.
New episodes of Making Space with Hoda Kotb are released every Wednesday. Listen now wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome to Wrigley Wrestling Wrap Up.
Okay. Derek's in a mood, and Derek wanted to take over, and that's okay. Sometimes think we're not always happy, right, Derek? And today's one of those days.
Get that right.
All right. Well, we'll get to why we're not happy in a little while. First, we're going to talk about AEW Dynamite. Tell me about the Blackpool Comedy Club.
Blackpool Comedy Club did get a win on Dynamite. And gotta man, that team is badass.
So they got the win. Were you happy?
That I am very happy about.
Okay, that's great.
Let's now forget about a credible win for Jason, Jordan, and she got a win, and then I was second her opponent. That's okay.
What about Sky Blue?
Sky Blue, she got a win over Chris Styler. It's about time.
It's about time. Derek loves Sky Blue.
Chris Styler had to learn
her lesson.
Get that right.
Whatever happened to Sky Blue is going to become Sky Black? Did we drop that idea?
Well, Sky Blue stays. I'm not sure this is going to be a Sky Black yet.
All right.
It's getting very close to it.
Okay, tell me about Rampage. We got the Righteous and Lance Archer. I did check this one. These should be correct.
They are good. They are badasses and incredible. Like Lance Archer, he's a badass. Badass of all badasses.
That's number one badass.
Quite the title.
More badass than John Cena?
Ooh.
No.
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 No, if you're going to put me on the spot.
Pretty badass, but not that badass.
Get that
Okay,
right.
but they got the win.
And
Did you even say that?
the Rashes are badass. We have the Rashes and Lance Archer. A badass trio.
I love it.
One day, trio champions. We'll see.
Love that.
And yes, they did kind of win.
And you were happy about this?
They are badasses, so yeah.
All right, so tell me about Rio.
Rio got a win over AEW Trench. Not just Riders, but a different Trench.
Oh, okay.
So Rio is a girl.
Yeah, Rio is a girl.
And were you happy about Rio getting this win?
I am very happy for that win, actually.
I love that. So moving on to Collision, we got our guys, the Acclaimed, Max and Anthony, teamed up with Austin Gunn.
Yep.
And
They got a win. That's amazing.
do you think Austin Gunn was covered in glitter?
Maybe. He's a glitter boy.
He is a glitter boy. He had glitter all over him when we were backstage at AEW.
Yeah.
Check it out on our vlog if you haven't seen it yet. But
He said,
he said, "Don't give me a hug."
You'll get
And-
all glitter.
And Derek gave him a hug anyways.
Said, I don't care. Hopefully he didn't have to go glitter again.
Yeah, you never know. But they got the win.
Yes.
So now this whole like bang bang scissor gang thing, they can just like team up with any of the 6 of them.
Yeah.
And do you like that?
I think that's insane.
I bet Daddy Ass likes it too. Maybe he doesn't have to fight so often.
Yeah, I mean,
He's
needs
getting
a
up
break.
there. He needs a little break.
So tell me about Private Party. You met them.
Yeah.
And they were super fun.
They were super fun. This was on the vlog. It was like, bah, 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 bah. Boom! And then I get, whoa!
You almost knocked him over.
Like a little shoulder tackle.
A shoulder tackle.
That's say that. That's right. And yes, those two boys did get that W.
Were you happy to see them win?
Yeah.
They're pretty fun.
They'll always be fun.
Yeah, I bet they are. What about Thunder Rosa?
She gotta win. I am very happy for it. For my girl, Thunder Rosa.
I love her entrance.
She's striking.
It's unbelievable. That I don't even know what you call it. Like the what they put, the graphic that they put on the stage during her entrance is unbelievable. All right, so let's talk about AEW Revolution. Big pay-per-view event this weekend, huh?
Yeah.
I saw the announcement. The next AEW pay-per-view event, what's it going to be?
How about you say it?
Here in St. Louis, Missouri?
Yep.
April 21st?
Yep.
I put it on the calendar.
Get out.
What's it going to be called? Dynasty? Is that right?
Yeah. Dynasty. Yes.
Shut the front door.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah. I just saw it on during that event, and I was like,
That was pretty exciting. I saw your Snapchat, and I immediately put it on my calendar and texted mom and dad.
well, at least you guys know about it now.
Well, yeah, you posted to Snapchat. I saw it.
I did.
So let's talk about some of the...
I posted all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of these Revolution results. We've got an AEW World Tag Team Championship match. It was Sting and Darby Allin versus Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. Are those two brothers?
Yep.
And what happened?
Sting and Darby Allin getting that W.
And that was Sting's last match. Am I right? Am I correct?
That is correct. And Sting, I got something special for you.
Ooh, what's that?
Let's all of us say it. Me, you, and also you.
Okay, what do we say?
What do we say?
Thank you, Sting.
Okay,
Oh,
got
okay.
it. Got it.
Okay.
Good thing we asked because I was going congratulations.
3, 2, 1.
Thank you, Sting. Boom. Love it. I saw in that
Hang
match. Oh, okay.
Sting, let's tell you about.
Wow. I saw in that.
Wait.
Again.
Oh!
Okay, no more yelling into the mic. These are the.
Does he do that?
No,
Yeah.
Mm,
He does.
I figured. I saw at one point that Darby Allin was like face down on the ground during that match. He took a pretty gnarly fall.
It was gross.
Was he bleeding?
There's a lot of blood
Oh.
came out. That's horrible for Darby.
What glass? Like a glass table or something?
Dinner glass.
That doesn't sound very safe near a wrestling ring.
Don't love. Okay, so AEW World Championship match. We had Swerve Strickland versus Samoa Joe versus Hangman Adam Page.
That was a very fun match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very fun. And Samoa Joe actually beat both men at the same time.
Oh, did he do a
same
double tag
time.
or a double pin?
Did he stack them on top of each other?
Not like that, but Hangman Page did tap out before Strickland. Let's stop Joe that tap out.
So did they both tap out?
Only Hangman.
But he was pinning Swerve Strickland as Hangman Adam Page tapped out.
Hangman and Page tap out, and both men lost. Joe retained.
Interesting. Okay, good to know. So tell me about the Women's World Championship match.
That match was pretty insane. I gotta admit.
Deonna Purrazzo versus Timeless Toni Storm.
Oh, Timeless Tony.
She's the one that gives Marilyn Monroe vibes.
Very much Marilyn
Yeah,
Monroe
she does.
vibes.
That match was super good, and the little guy trying distracted.
You did ask Ruby Soho who she thought was going to win this match. I believe she told us Deonna Purrazzo is who she had to go with, right? Or am I getting that wrong? Did she say Tony?
Tony Storm.
She
Tony
did.
Storm.
That's right. She said she was.
Tony tap out.
So Ruby was wrong.
Tony tap out before getting that W.
She tapped out and then they didn't see it, and then she got the
The
win.
ref did not see that.
Oh.
I hate when that happens.
So she tapped, but it didn't get called, and then she ended up winning.
Just like that.
So Ruby was right.
I'm gonna start. They get away, even though she taps.
We hate when that happens.
That is such a bummer for Deonna Purrazzo. Don't love that.
If I do have Palazzo with the win anyway.
So tell me about this all-star 8-man scramble match. It was really 8 men against one another. 1,
Yep.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is 8.
Were there teams or were they all independent? Were they all one
They
man for
all
himself?
In the ring at the same time. There's
Right.
Chris Jericho.
It looks like they were all independent. It says Chris Jericho versus Powerhouse Hobbs versus Lance Archer versus Wardlow versus Brian Cage versus Hook versus Dante Martin versus Magnus.
That's a lot.
So they
Yeah.
were all on their own.
But only one guy had to
Pin
pin
one
one
guy.
other guy to win.
Yes.
Who
And-
won?
Who did it?
And I get like this.
Okay.
It's not Madness. It's not Darby.
Darby wasn't in that match.
Sorry. I meant
Dante?
Dante.
Who was it? Was
It
it
was-
Powerhouse Hobbs?
Nope.
Oh.
It was that bitch. Warlord.
Wardlow. Oh, Wardlow was one of the 3 random masked men that Derek doesn't like.
Oh.
But he's a big dude. We met him.
Oh, we know. We know.
That's a big boy. I'm not surprised he won. Who did he pin?
Let's not go there.
In something that did go your way, good thing Miranda in here. Revolution 0 Hour was a 6 versus 6 match,
Yep.
which was the Bang Bang Scissor Gang.
They can win.
They got the win.
Gotta love that.
We do love that.
Me too.
All right. Let me tell you what I just saw on Instagram right before we started today. We got breaking news out of AEW.
What's that?
Sammy Guevara is suspended.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
I heard about that.
This was posted 2 hours ago by WrestleFeed. It says that Jeff Hardy recently suffered a broken nose during a no DQ match, no disqualification match against Sammy Guevara on AEW Rampage on February 14th. Guevara's knee landed on Jeff's face during a shooting star press. On his podcast, Rob Van Dam said that Sammy owes accountability for this action. All Elite Wrestling has indeed punished Sammy for this incident as he has been suspended.
Well, it sounds like an accident.
It says after Hardy got injured, proper concussion protocol was not followed. Additionally, Guevara performed his finishing move on Hardy, a maneuver that, as per reports, should not have been executed given the circumstances. So, I don't really know why it shouldn't have been executed given the circumstances, but it sounds like he is in trouble because of that move. So, you watched it. What happened? Do you remember? It happened on February 14th. That was Valentine's Day. It's last Wednesday.
I did.
What, last Wednesday?
It was Friday.
2 Wednesdays ago. What
Anyway,
happened?
what happened?
It was Friday. That match was super good, and Sammy did get it win over Hardy before Hardy got injured, and
Did it look like Sammy did an illegal move?
maybe Sammy did a very legal move, and that's 450 on jab, and from that I don't know what to say.
So, you think it could have been illegal?
Could be, yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to move on to WWE. Hopefully, Sammy is learned his lesson, but comes back soon. So, NXT.
Yeah.
What about Roxanne Perez?
She got to win.
I know that made you happy. Big Roxanne Perez fan over there.
Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned Roxanne.
Well, she's in my notes.
Do you know Roxanne Perez follows Bailey?
What does that mean?
Looks like Roxanne and Bailey are friends.
Well, that's good. I'm glad Bailey has a friend. We'll talk about Bailey a little later on.
Well, before we move on to that, Roberta sooner, Roxanne, just let you know, I am still big fan of yours. And what happened to Bailey last Friday was absurd.
Absurd.
Please help your friend Bailey if she's not doing good with damage control.
She needs a friend, huh?
She needs you so bad, and I'm really hoping you're coming to your senses tonight on NXT to address that.
Okay. So tell me about there's somebody who's back that you're really excited about.
Yep.
Tell me.
Perfect 10.
Bo Derek?
No.
Oh.
Ty Dillinger.
Ty Dillinger. Now, this one I did also look up because the original thing we had written down was not sounded like a real name. But
sometimes Siri gets confused.
yeah, well, Siri confused me with that whole comedy thing. So Ty Dillinger is back, and you are really excited about this.
Yeah, that was pretty happy.
Was it a surprise?
Yeah, it was surprising for me.
You love a good surprise, don't you?
I mean, I do like a lot with respect, like Rey Mysterio on SmackDown and winning a miracle after that, and then and now Ty Dillinger.
That's exciting stuff. What about oh, we got to move. Is that Ty's move?
10.
Perfect 10. What about Von Wagner?
He got a win. Very good win. Von Wagner is more badass, like Lance Archer and the Ratchets.
So you were happy about his win?
Yeah. Big Von Wagner fan.
Big Von Wagner fan. What about Charlie Dempsey?
Charlie Dempsey is the new NXT Harris Cup champion.
Heritage Cup.
Heritage Cup
Good job.
champion. He beat Noah Dar. That no good Noah Dar.
Ooh,
No good,
no
Noah
good.
Dar. Noam, I believe. Noam Dar. Right?
Get that right.
So you were happy that he's the new champion, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and I can't wait to see him on NXT with that cup. So, congratulations, Charlie.
All right. We're going to go a little out of order here. Let's talk about Monday Night Raw next.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. I'm positive. Tell me about Gunther.
Ugh. Don't tell me he won again.
Oh, wait till you hear who he beat.
Did he beat Dom? Did he?
Can we move on to SmackDown?
He beat Dom.
Boo his boo.
I just said, can we talk about SmackDown?
You don't want to go out of order?
No.
Oh, boy. All right. All right. Well, we'll come back to Raw then. I apologize. Let's talk about SmackDown.
It's not your fault.
Yeah, we're not
All
going
right.
to be happy during the SmackDown talk. I think
got
that's
it.
why she was going to save it till the end.
I was trying to save it till the end because I know you're going to get upset. But we got to, I know you have a lot of feelings about this, but let's keep it brief, okay? So first, before we get to the big deal, let's talk about The Rock. Let me tell you something. Okay, Jack, SmackDown is 2 hours on TV. Raw is 3 hours, but SmackDown is 2 hours. We started SmackDown at 7 p.m. I went live with Derek this week for SmackDown.
Yep.
The Rock and Roman Reigns and their little spiel where they were chitter-chattering went on for 38 minutes.
Of a 2-hour show.
And there was only one commercial break. And it was not very long. And I saw on Instagram that segment went 10 minutes longer than it was supposed to.
I believe that. They had things to say.
The Rock went on and on and on. He was just really chirping it up.
Sound like Katie Baker right now.
Oh, don't come at Katie.
Don't come
Hey, she's talking like The Rock. Can you smell? Yeah. With the bloodline, it's cooking.
Yeah, he gave a lot of, can you smell what the bloodline is cooking? The
He
interesting
acknowledged Roman Reigns as his tribal chief. I didn't think he'd do it.
I didn't think he'd do it either, but he did. But the
I thought it was
interesting
going to be Dominic, but
It's The Rock.
The Rock said, "You're up, Dom."
The interesting thing is the 2 times that he has been on SmackDown as this bloodline heel, when he goes to acknowledge Roman, did you notice what he's done?
What?
Both times he's done this instead of just putting up the ones.
What do you mean?
Like he's like done like an L.
Like an L. Oh.
And he has not done this. He has done this.
Oh. See, I wonder. My mole idea is still possible. Still
possible.
plausible.
He's a spy for Cody. He's gonna help
I
Cody
mean,
take
he
him
gave
down.
Cody such a nice hug, and they had a little giggle,
and then he
the whole
slapped him in the
thing.
face.
Well, that was the next week.
Oh well, yeah.
Crazy.
But yeah, it did go on 10 minutes longer than it was supposed to. So Tiffany and Naomi's match got cut quite short.
oh, it was
apparently.
super short.
It was so short.
I was like,
and
what was the
it
point of
was.
that?
That's why.
Yeah.
It's
Tiffany
good.
was trying to get a win.
Yeah,
yeah.
boo hiss.
Yeah,
we wanted Naomi to win
We
that.
always want Naomi. Boo. But yeah, that's why. It's because of the Rock on the mic and his chitter chirping
His
he was
antics.
doing. So then
Maybe we're gonna do this every time when The Rock come out.
yeah, that's what he does. So tell me about Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker, he's incredible.
He's a badass. I'll give it to you.
I know, right?
Yeah.
We better like Von Wagner and Lance Archer and the Ratchets. But Braun Breaker, Zaya Quinn. No offense for Zaya Quinn. Zaya Quinn is a badass for sure, but it takes 30 minutes for him. Braun Breaker got a pin like that.
Oh, yeah, that was super fast. Maybe
Yeah.
that was also a makeup for Roman.
Could have been. Who knows?
Braun Breaker. He just.
It
Braun-
was like less than 2 minutes.
It was actually. Braun Breaker came in and speared Zion and then
And pinned him.
pinned him in 1, 2, 3, and then the match actually over.
It took longer for them to enter than it did
I
for him
Zaya
to
Quinn.
win.
What happened to?
What
Yeah.
happened? So, should we talk about the good thing that happened at SmackDown first or the bad thing that happened at SmackDown first?
Just talk about Ray.
Okay, so the LWO, Carlito, they were out there, and what happened?
He's dancing if you're not watching on YouTube.
Just a little dance.
The return of our good
Do a little
friend,
dance.
Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio. Okay, this is hilarious. Him coming out on those crutches.
It didn't even look like him. He looked so frail. And I guess it was all an act.
It was an act. He came out on crutches, and then he started beating the other guys with the crutches.
He was swinging the crutches.
That was cool.
And then he helped his buddy Carlito win, and the LWO appears to be strong. They're ready to go. Headed into WrestleMania season, we got Ray back. You love to see that. All right, let's get to the elephant in the room.
Before you say that,
All right.
Santos Escobar, what happened?
What happened was he lost.
He lost.
Carlito won. How you to lose to Carlito?
So I don't know if you know why he says the what happened thing. So there's this other guy on
And that's cool.
TikTok. His name is James Draws, and we've become buddies with him. James also has Down syndrome. James is a big sports guy. He's a big wrestling guy, but he's a big football guy.
Gotcha.
And he got really big on TikTok by making these videos about the losing teams. So whenever a team would lose, he'd be like, you know, Philadelphia Eagles, what happened? And he would go on these rants.
Sorry, Jared.
And he'll like just go on these rants about the teams that lose, and he'll do it during, you know, football season. He'll do it during basketball season.
March Madness.
A lot of
yeah.
March Madness. But he
But-
won't do. Go ahead. You were gonna
He
say
will
it.
not say that to the Kansas Jayhawks.
No.
Or well, his
He's from
team.
Oklahoma. He
Oh.
has particular teams. KC Chiefs, not going to say it. There are certain teams that he will not go there, which, you know, you got to
He has a
admire
code.
his commitment.
Yeah.
It's the teams that he cheers for, that he is a fan of. He will not do the what happened to them. But
Yep.
He's super cute.
he's great. And him and Derek are pretty good buddies now. They call each other, and
Yeah, we
James
do
is-
that often.
yeah, James is a really nice guy.
I got him. He called me. I got him. Got him.
Yeah, so
What is this? What is this? We're not Cody Rhodes or Seth Rollins.
You could be.
yeah. Well, James actually just started a podcast with our buddy Philly Jared. So we have two Jareds in our world, Philly Jared and WWE Jared.
Sure.
So Philly Jared and James, I actually introduced to them, and they just started a podcast called J&J Sports. And they talk football, and then they talk wrestling. And Derek was just on their podcast.
I was.
Has
Go
that
check
been
it out.
posted yet?
Yeah, it has actually. I need to
Oh,
after this.
well, you
I need
should
to
send it to me so I can watch.
Okay, I will. So, let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Big elephant.
We do not have our.
Dakota Kai has been kicked to the curb.
Yep.
We are not pleased with Miss Dakota. What were you thinking?
Her action figure is off of the podcast table. If
Your
you're not watching.
actions are unacceptable and unforgivable.
You know, Derek, I saw this Instagram post that said, whatever you do, don't trust Dakota Kai. And it was like a picture from 2018, 2021, and 2024. And each time it appeared she was turning on somebody that was important to her. So maybe Dakota Kai is the problem. Maybe Bailey shouldn't have trusted her from the beginning.
There's a reason I don't want to talk about it.
Well, Derek, you know, we do.
We don't know what Dakota is doing.
Oh, I think she made it pretty darn clear Friday night that she was part of the Kabuki Warriors and Io Sky party.
That's not it.
Okay.
She did it. She jumped off when Bailey needed her.
Yeah, Bailey went to tag her. They were tag teams, and she jumped off the ring and didn't accept the tag, and then walked off with the opponents.
And then helped the opponents be 4-on-1.
Yeah. You know what? There is a friend for Bailey. I don't know who it is.
Could it be Jade Cargill?
Oh, yeah.
Jade Cargill didn't look very happy with Dakota and the Kabuki Warriors and Io. She was standing there like, you messed up. And I'll tell you what, if I had to choose between Dakota and Io or only Jade Cargill to
I'd
be on
take
my
Jade.
team, I would take Jade 100% of the time.
Is a badass.
We all know.
She
Jade
picked up
Cargill.
Nia Jax and tossed her over the freaking rope
By herself. Jade
alone.
Cargill is, she's got like a foot on Dakota and Io. She is incredible.
Somebody is going to step up for Bailey, Derek. Somebody is going to step up for Bailey.
Maybe Dakota is a mold.
Maybe.
Maybe you could be onto something. Maybe they're just playing the Kabuki Warriors and Io. That'd be awesome.
Dakota.
Come back, Dakota.
Say what you got to say. Make it quick.
Dakota.
You really upset Derek, Dakota. If you're not watching on YouTube, Derek is having a hard time even talk right now. He's covering his face because he's upset.
Say what you got to say, buddy.
Let's hear it.
Roxanne Perez, please help Bailey.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's Roxanne Perez. Maybe this is her moment to come to SmackDown.
I don't know what to say right now. Dakota, what you did was really, really messed up. I understand for everything you are. I know you, Dakota. I know you did not do that on purpose. I trusted you.
I think
Eh,
Bailey did too.
Especially Bailey. You better listen to this, Dakota, right now, because I am done with this.
You need to make amends.
You need to apologize to Bailey and me.
Yep, absolutely. Preach.
You need to apologize. I'm not kidding.
We are not happy. We have a broken heart here in the podcast room.
We've had a broken heart for 4 days.
Yes, we have. We've talked a lot about this.
Mm-hmm.
Io Sky is fine, but you, absolutely not.
Can't have it.
I wasn't happy for Io Sky, but you, Dakota,
Crushed.
you just disappoint me.
Oh, not the disappoint word.
You disappoint me. I thought I trust you. I thought I trust you at the beginning. I told you last week I was worried about you when you getting hurt. And do you think this all the act? No, it's not. You're just writing and you get people's heads, especially Bailey's, and now you're playing mine. What's going on? What's going on right now, Dakota?
She's trying to get in people's heads, and now you're playing with mine. That's what I heard.
Dakota, you better apologize to me right now.
What about Bailey?
Apologize to me. Until you're done with that, you better apologize to Bailey. Before WrestleMania begins. You need to understand, Dakota, you broke my heart.
Okay.
You broke my heart. I'm not thrilled about it. I'm not happy about it. I'm very disappointed in you.
All right.
You know better like that.
You know, Derek, it's time to go on. And you know what? I think something huge is going to happen at WrestleMania for Bailey.
I agree.
They are setting Bailey up for something big. She's going to have a huge win.
We need Roxanne Perez. We need freaking Becky Lynch. We need someone in that ring with Bailey the whole time.
All right. I know you're upset. I know it hurts when your groups don't work out the way you expected them to. But what I think is really cool is that you got to meet all of Damage Control when they were still happy, which is really awesome because I know how much you look up to them. And it does suck to see your friends not work out the way you thought. But at the end of the day, it's not up to them. You know that the WWE...
Just stop talking, please.
Okay.
Okay, we're moving on.
Okay, we're going to move on to Monday Night Raw.
Monday Night Raw.
So we already talked about Gunther. He did beat our boy Dom.
Ugh. Boo.
You know?
Don't love.
Please say it, please. Gunther did gonna win over Dominic.
Don't
Boo.
love.
Boo.
Don't love.
Boo.
Tell me about Seth
Boo.
Rollins and Cody Rhodes.
They're coming to SmackDown this Friday.
That's exciting. So they're like good buddies right now, huh?
Only I need is a hug from those two gentlemen.
Oh, of course, of course. So are they coming to SmackDown for something specific, or did they tease anything? What do you think?
Oh, I think it's to answer Roman and The Rock.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're
Thank
going to
you very
talk
much.
for another 30 minutes to
Maybe.
begin the night. All right, tell me about Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler.
They're gonna win over Kente Carter and Katana Shan.
You think this is a pretty badass tag team, huh? Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Are you-
Shayna Baszler is. I mean, well, actually, Zoe Starks too. They're those women are tough.
They're fierce, that's for sure. All
Yeah,
right,
for sure.
tell me about Becky Lynch.
She gonna win.
She beat Nia Jax.
Yep.
So I have a
By
question.
the help with Liv Morgan.
That's what I was going to ask. Did
Liv
Liv
helped.
interfere?
Yep.
So did Liv help her win because Liv wants to fight her, though?
Yep.
Yeah, because now Liv and Becky Lynch are going to fight next week. They're going to fight each other because they've been beefing backstage a little bit. Liv said it's
so-
not always about you, Becky. They've been going at it a little bit. So tell me about Andrade.
He gonna win
Oh, I'm glad
Is that
Andrade's back.
his-
over
again.
Apollo.
that's his first match back in WWE by himself, right?
Yep.
That's pretty exciting. And the Judgment Day?
They got to win over Imperium.
Oh, good.
Love to see it. We
Way-
love when Imperium loses.
Way better of Gunter, Benny, Dominic.
Absolutely.
Heck yes. So is it Finn and Damien?
Yeah, Finn and Damien.
Okay. What about Sami Zayn?
He got to win over Ivar.
Is he the bike-
Sami Zayn.
Yes.
The Viking Raider.
That's a Viking
That's
Raider.
a big dude.
That is a big dude.
Sammy's not that big.
No, but he is agile. So tell me about Seth Rollins. He came to the aid of Jey Uso.
Yep.
I saw that video you sent me of Seth and Jey Uso and Cody after cameras went off at WWE last night. I guess Seth Rollins gave some kid a chair. Jey Uso was out in the crowd signing stuff. They were having a good old time.
Wow.
They were having fun, weren't
Super
they?
fun. Why didn't they do that in St. Louis?
I don't know. They forgot to come see us. What the heck?
Next time.
I don't know, because Drew was out there beating up on Cody.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Oh. I did appreciate that on your Snapchat last night. You said that you are not a fan of what Drew is doing right now, but you didn't say you hate him anymore. You're doing a better job at recognizing that he's still our friend, even if we don't like his actions in the ring, right?
That is true.
Yeah, you did good. Okay, we got a couple of news and prediction things that we need to go over. Did you see they announced the first inductee of the 2024 Hall of Fame?
Paul Heyman.
The cockroach.
The cockroach.
He probably deserves
He
it.
probably does deserve it, even if his character is cockroachy.
Actually, I bet you guys to be nice to Paul.
Oh, have you come around on
Really?
Paul?
Little bit, because he did earn my respect, be in the Hall of Fame. Paul Heyman is doing great for his career, like becoming social manager of ECW, becoming the advocate of Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, and now Roman Reigns. So I like to do something special for this young man. Pa,
I don't think he's a young man.
I got something for you, Pa.
Do not scream.
I'm not gonna scream at him
I think he's going to sing.
or sing.
I just mean don't scream into the mic. Don't be too loud.
My name is Paul Heyman. And this is my advocate. He is the reigning, defending, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Brock Lesnar.
Great impression.
See the reigning, defending WWE champion of the world, CM Punk. Last one. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the reigning and defending undisputed WWE champion of the world, the Shuffle Chief, Roman Reigns.
Good job. Good impression.
Very nice.
Thank you.
All right, you've got a prediction for the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions.
Yes,
Who's it going to be?
I will tell you. Don't be too excited.
But I'm not done yet.
But Paul,
Oh, my gosh.
congratulations being the first inductee in the Hall of Fame. I am very happy for you, and that is amazing. That is amazing. Your career in WWE is definitely flawless. So, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mr. Paul Heyman. Paul, you're not a cockroach in my book.
Wow. You've
At
come
least
so
not
far.
today.
You sure earn my respect.
Wow. Okay, tell me about the new women's tag team champion prediction that you got here.
This prediction right here. It will be Bailey and Derek Baker,
Oh.
the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champion.
You're going to take out the Kabuki Warriors?
It's kind of weird because you're not a woman.
I don't care. I really want to put my hands on the Kabuki Warriors. In fact, at WrestleMania, even though Bailey is going to be Io Sky for the Women's Championship, also we're going to make it 2.
So on Saturday, she's going to beat Io, and on Sunday, you guys are going to tag team and beat the Kabuki Warriors. Is that the plan?
Probably.
And she's going to get 2 belts at WrestleMania.
And with me.
All right. So you think that there's going to be a trap for Io Sky?
Yep. Io Sky, what happened?
What an evil giggle. You get that from your father. He's got an evil giggle,
Nah,
too.
I don't have that.
It's pretty
Anyway,
evil.
yes. It's going to be a trap for Io Sky because Dakota Kai is still trustworthy.
Okay.
If you say so. So you think she's
You better stop saying that.
Whoa.
I think Dakota Kai will turn. Dakota Kai and the Book of Warriors will turn on Io.
Well, if that happens, we'll give Dakota a place of honor on the table again.
So, Book of Warriors, Dakota Kai. Listen, Bailey is not the problem. The problem is that little cockroach. And that cockroach is a WWE Women's Champion, Io Sky. So, are you, Kabuki Warriors and Dakota Kai, are you to turn on Io Sky before it goes way too far? Bailey is not an issue, Io is.
Alrighty then. And that is all we have time for today. A big shout out to our girl, Ruby Soho. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am still working on hopefully getting our girl Maxine Dupree on here soon. So we'll keep you posted on that. And find us on Cameo. Find our merch on bakerbanner.com. As of right now, I do not have any updates on WrestleMania. We've been getting a lot of questions about that. We do still hope to make it, but
Speaking
as of
of
right
that-
now, we are not going at this moment. That is all we have time for. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you are a wrestling fan, you should probably tell your other wrestling friends that they should listen to Baker's Bantering because, we got a lot of hot takes. We got a lot to say, and we got a lot of emotion. I think that this episode proved that today. So thank you so much for joining us, and we will talk to you next week.
Yep.
Peace.
Peace.